Absolutely beautiful.
Welcome back to Whiskey Hotel Flaviar, dear guest. Day 18 offers a fresh and thrilling discovery. So pour yourself a glass, relax, and let's immerse ourselves into the fascinating stories and intricate flavors together on this enchanting evening, as the grand ballroom comes alive with majestic melodies of a live orchestra, and the dancing couples twirl gracefully on the polished dance floor. Your hand finds its perfect partner in today's whiskey selection, the Pinhook Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Let our whiskey savant now take the lead on today's tasting.
Pinhook Kentucky Straight Bourbon is the result of an unparalleled approach to whiskey making. Within the historic castle and key distillery, Pinhook blends and proofs their whiskey in distinct annual vintages, a unique approach that allows us to embrace the nuances of each year's barrels, which are naturally shaped by the barrel oak, climate, and rickhouse storage environment. Unlike the typical American whiskey blending process, which replicates the same flavor profile annually, Pinhook's approach ensures each vintage gets the best out of every barrel by embracing its unique characteristics. With a custom mash bill and small batch blending, Pinhook stands out as a bold, smooth spirit that is versatile enough for cocktails, yet robust when enjoyed neat or on ice. The name Pinhook comes from an old term for buying young racing horses and raising them into champions. Successful pinhooks, like whiskey, depend on instinct, experience, some luck, and patience. Pinhook has crafted the best, not just the same, with each vintage offering a new expression of bourbon. Thank you so much for joining me again for day 18 of our wonderful Whiskey Advent Calendar here at Whiskey Hotel Flaviar. As you'll notice, I'm here in the lounge now next to the fire. Thought this would be a wonderful place for us to enjoy the rest of the Advent Calendar over the coming few days. And today, obviously, we've got this wonderful dram from Pinhook. And I'm sorry to say I've got a little bit overexcited today. I've already poured myself a dram. So grab your Glencairns, make sure you've got your Pinhook, pour yourself a dram, and let's get stuck in. The thing I love about this whiskey, before we even get involved from a flavor point of view, is their ethos, what they're looking to create each and every year. As opposed to creating a very consistent product, the same thing every single time, what they're really looking to do here is get the very best out of their stocks. Each and every cask that matures under bond for 5, 10, 15 years will develop its own unique style. And even though two casks can be filled with the same liquid at the same time and mature in the same warehouse, it doesn't mean that the liquid coming out of those casks down the line will taste exactly the same. So the wonderful thing about this whiskey is you know that they're making the very, very best bourbons. They're making sure that they use the best casks and showcasing it to us here at Whiskey Hotel Flaviar in the very best way possible for each vintage. Something I think a lot of brands could put into practice. As we've got it in the glass here and I'm swirling it around, getting it warm in the glass, what you'll notice straight away is it does have some wonderful legs to this whiskey, and at 49% ABV, it's at a reasonably high strength, nothing that's too overpowering. Straight away on the nose, we've got some wonderful fruits, some light corn in the background, but for a bourbon, this is actually quite a vibrant, quite a fruity expression. Definitely getting that crisp red apple skin straight away, as well as honey, butterscotch, and those vanillas. Again, guys, this is a beautiful bourbon, and as we've discussed throughout this Advent Calendar, something that you're going to get from any and all whiskeys is vanilla, but when you get it from a barrel like this, whiskey matured in such high quality barrels, you can really expect those vanillins to come through. For me, this is almost like a vanilla extract. It's very concentrated vanilla, absolutely beautiful. At 49% ABV, this certainly is a little bit prickly on the nose, so not something that you can dive straight into. Some of the notes are a little shrouded to begin with, but please warm this up in the glass, allow it to become accustomed to the new environment that you've put it in, and you will watch as those notes start to develop, open up, and that nose prickle should dissipate over the next sort of 5 to 10 minutes. Let's see what we think on the palate though. So on the palate, we've got those crisp apples again. I'm not sure that the red apple quite translates, but it's that crisp, fresh apple that I'm really getting straight away. Again, the vanilla translating beautifully to the palate also, but it runs alongside a slightly more artificial sweetness and quite a bit more fruit. I'm getting almost a bit of a light, fluffy banana loaf type thing going on here. It's very light, and actually the nose prickle from the nose is a little bit misleading because this is wonderfully smooth and easygoing on the palate. Now, if like me, you've been getting the most out of our beautiful little tasting booklet here, it's probably a little bit dog-eared, and hopefully you've been making some wonderful notes. Now don't forget, you've got to make notes on this one here today. And as you'll see, as we open it up, we're looking at red apple, we're looking at bananas, we're looking at butterscotch and vanilla. Cinnamon is something that I've noticed will grow within this dram as it does start to open up and oxidize. It's not something that really showcased itself for me straight away, but for you it might be entirely different. As we've said since the beginning, there's no right and no wrong when it comes to whiskey or bourbon tasting, and everyone is unique. So if there's something that's missing here for you, don't worry, that's absolutely fine. But maybe you're getting something entirely different yourself. Make sure to write that down. The more that we connect ourselves with our own tasting notes, the more we verbalize these things, the easier it becomes for us to share whiskeys with other people and explain to our friends and family what we're enjoying. Hazelnut is something that does grow within this dram as well, and I find it really interesting, the toasted note here, because exactly that for me, it's those toasted roadside nuts that sometimes you can get in busy marketplaces in London and other big cities. And as I said, guys, now that we've left this dram to just oxidize, mellow out over the last 5 minutes, that nose prickle really has started to dissipate, and the smooth palate is starting to align with the nose, which is settled right the way down. You have some wonderful crisp barley water on the background, a little bit sugary, really wonderful. I think that as a bourbon goes, this is very well balanced. And for me, I'm really interested in trying other vintages of Pinhook to see how the variances are sort of occurring, whether the red apple is something that we can expect throughout, because it is a really prominent note here and something that I'm thoroughly enjoying. Now remember, if this is a dram that you're particularly enjoying, you can get all of the drams from our beautiful Advent calendar direct from Whiskey Hotel Flaviar at a serious discount. You've got the code here in our little booklet, as well as on your sample here, and it's something that I would highly recommend. These sorts of offers do not come around all the time, and when you're able to try something before you buy it, you know at least you're going to enjoy what you get delivered in the post. This has been an absolutely wonderful day. I'm really enjoying the new setting here in the hotel. I hope you like the cozy fireplace as much as I do. You can see me here again tomorrow. For now though, I'm gonna retire, maybe grab a book, read it as I enjoy the rest of this dram. And as I've said to you before, guys, please do make sure you save a little bit, come back to it. I mean, we're now 18 drams in. If you've saved a little bit of everything thus far, you can really start comparing, contrasting. And remember, the codes throughout this booklet are going to be available for your purchase throughout this Advent period. So make sure you take advantage before it ends. For now though, that's all from me here at the hotel. I'm going to retire, enjoy the rest of my afternoon. I hope you do as well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Slàinte mhath.